And we are recording. Thanks to everyone who is watching this part of the Ravenhawk campaign. If you are new to the channel or to the campaign, the other parts will be in the description. This is going to be a very important session. As you may remember from the previous part, the adventurers are now confronting Strahd. Everything could end up terribly in this session, so it all depends in luck and skill, all of that. Now, before we get started, RPG Grandma, what are your thoughts on the tactics that you want to employ against Strahd?
Guys seen Flash Gordon, the movie?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We got to flash the situation like he did in the Emperor's room and get those bones on the altar. So that is. So I am inventing football. It's now an ancient Minotaurian game, and I'm going to teach it to you.
I like it.
My strategy.
Eli, you have the bones and you are pretty close to Strahd. Any thoughts on that?
I'm hoping I can buy some time and sweet talk and feed his ego, and he'll leave or give us a, I don't know, maybe mage hand or something. But it's going to be hard without him noticing. I just feel he's very aware and very perceptive.
And remember that in the previous part, he was already ready to attack. He was like, he couldn't control himself. He's about to strike. So yes, it's going to be quite intense. And now, Big Bad RPG, perhaps you have the home advantage. This is the Temple of the Morning Lord. Do you think you have some sort of way of working with that?
Stay tuned to find out.
Awesome. And so it begins. It starts with rolling initiative. What did Moo roll?
I rolled a 10.
Marcus.
Dirty 20.
Jace.
1.
Strahd looks at Moo and Jace, points his finger at them, and a tiny red ball starts to hover towards them. Both Moo and Jace need to roll a dexterity saving throw. What did Moo roll?
I rolled a 11.
What did Jace roll?
14.
Each one takes 20 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
The small ball expands into a fireball. It is filled with faces of anguish and pain. And Strahd moves towards Marcus. Now is the chance for Marcus to take action.
Wait, please stop. We'll help you with Arena. We're no match for you, of course. It's like a lion fighting a mouse. We're no challenge to you whatsoever. It can't be fun just to fight someone as lowly as us.
Make a charisma persuasion roll.
21.
Strahd chuckles for a moment. And with lightning fast speed, he slaps Marcus across the face, dealing 5 points of damage. Before this event, now Moo has a chance to act.
I say Mordecai.
The power of Mordenkainen infuses Moo completely. And Moo
And
notices. Mhm.
and I start zigzagging, running towards Marcus and Strahd while firing my crossbow.
Make your attack roll.
Oh, terrible. 6.
Misses Strahd completely. He looks at you, somewhat amused. And now Jace has his chance to act.
I take a kneel. I start weaving the spell protection from good and evil onto myself.
And so it is accomplished. But you also notice that the strength of the Morning Lord gives you greater health. You feel vigorous. 3 hit points, temporary hit points for Jace. Suddenly, you hear this crash, and from the side of the temple, crashing through a window, you see Ismark jumping through the window. He lands quite clumsily, and he says, "You were not thinking of fighting Strahd without me. We are fated to fight him together.
Of course.
You there, Marcus. You can win somehow." Ismark doesn't seem too confident, but he does his best. And then Strahd runs at blinding speed against Moo and strikes with his
Moo, watch
fist.
out!
Moo can see the hit almost coming. And it's a 21.
Ah. 21. All right. Oh. Saving throw. 7-2.
Moo takes terrible damage. 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ah.
8 points of necrotic damage.
That's
Strahd looks in Jace's direction. But now, it is the chance for Marcus to act.
I look over at the altar and I start running in that direction.
You immediately reach the altar with a dash. You are now in front of the altar, and you actually have time because Strahd is distracted with Jace. You have time for more actions.
I place the bones on there. Morning Lord, please. I do not worship you, but please help us. We need you in this time.
Nothing seems to happen. And now, Moo has a chance to act.
okay. I am going. I'm letting loose from my armor the magic missiles,
Make your roll.
and that's a 16. 3 of them.
Strahd is impacted by all of the missiles, but disturbingly so. You can see that the damage caused by the missiles repairs itself instantly.
I try to grapple him. And I don't. I can tell
With blinding speed, Strahd attacks twice. You can see Strahd about to hit you.
I do everything I can to dodge.
It's
Ring around
21,
him.
21, 71. No, 17.
17?
17 and 21.
All right. So I let out a howl. I fall down and I start rolling, but I jump back
But
up.
it's the roll against the armor class.
Oh, it's a roll against the armor class?
All
All right.
The Strahd is attacking Mu. So the 21 and 17, if they are the armor class of Mu is
Or 17.
now.
But I get a. Have we gone a minute in combat? So that would be
7
19.
points of bludgeoning damage in total, 10
Okay.
points of necrotic damage in total.
Okay, so that's 17. I hit. Okay, so I am down. There's no way, because even with the armor kicking in, my armor has will kick in temporary hit points at 0, but that's only 5.
The ground shakes as Mu collapses, and Jace finds his chance to act.
I wipe my face off. Is that all you got, you bloodsucker? By the power of Pelor, I invoke Mordekainen. I dash at Strahd with my spear. Try to stab him.
Make your attack roll.
$26.
It is a solid hit. Roll damage.
$4.
Strahd is injured. Part of it seems to instantaneously heal. But
That's
something
not all.
strange.
That's not all. I hit him with my shield. That's my bonus action. Using an inspiration.
Roll attack.
Run, you guys! I got this. Maybe not. 3. Oh, inspiration. 6.
As Jace accomplishes that and the next attack is futile, he notices that part of the damage did not heal as fast, but it still looks quite weak in comparison to inflicting damage on other enemies. Ismark runs at Jace and says, Jace, remember that you are fated to defeat Strahd. And Jace wins a point of inspiration. Ismark attacks Strahd. It is a hit. Strahd ends up damage, and once again the damage is not completely healed. But Strahd immediately counterattacks. He grabs Ismark for a moment and bites him. Ismark is severely wounded. His neck is bleeding profusely, and Ismark yells in pain. Oh! Strahd laughs. And suddenly, out of nowhere, this blast of fire impacts Strahd. It is an automatic hit.
What was that?
Strahd's face is singed, almost melting, but starts to heal. And you see that at the entrance of the temple stands Isaac, the guard. His mutated arm is shining and says, Strahd, I have defeated your cultists, the Vactor cult. I am here to help these law-abiding people. What do you say about that? And Strahd laughs. The Vactor cult? Who are those? There are many worshippers of Strahd. I do not recognize such people. And in an instant, he almost seems to face immediately next to Isaac. Isaac is
He
caught
moves on it.
off guard. And Jace finds his chance to do something.
When he moves, I burn him with Sacred Flame using Warcaster.
Make your roll.
It's 5. 5 radiant damage.
It deals quite a lot of pain to Strahd. He hisses, and for the first time you see his eyes almost turning red. And now,
How do you like that?
Strahd continues his onslaughts. He delivers 2-pound strikes against Isaac. You hear a crunch as Strahd digs the heel of his palm into Isaac's skull, and he falls down, apparently dead. You don't even hear him croak or yell. He falls down like a doll. And now Marcus has his chance to act.
In my hand, I grab powdered silver and iron, and I say, with my wand, I say, Presidium Amalo, and I cast protection from evil and good on myself. Jace, I need your help here immediately.
I'll rush to him if I can.
Moo needs to make a death saving throw because Moo is not yet dead.
I'm here. $19.
And so Jace has his chance to act.
Be there in a moment. Towards Strahd, cast Fireball.
Make your roll. But as you do it, you see that Strahd has almost completely regenerated all of the damage that he has suffered.
$10.
Strahd sidesteps quite easily.
With my
And
movement, I rush towards Marcus.
And so it is done. But then, from the side of the temple, you see the half-elf bard, Rictavio. He screams, "You there, Marcus? Pass the bones to me and keep him busy."
I gather the bones and pass them to him immediately.
And so it is accomplished. And in less than a second, the Strahd is now almost immediately upon you. And he takes another quick step. Impossibly so. He's so close to you, within distance of Jace. And he tries to crush Jace with a solid blow.
I'll try to jump out of the way.
Jace was too slow because he was almost in the future in his actions. And Strahd fails horribly. Natural 1.
Nice try, bloodsucker.
Jace has a moment to take a quick action.
Sacred Flame on him.
Make your roll.
14 points of radiant damage.
Strahd once again suffers greatly, but it is quite noticeable that he is not regenerating as fast as before. And now Marcus has his chance to act.
V Damnum. An Eldritch Blast. I Eldritch Blast him.
Make your roll.
10.
Strahd almost dismisses the attack with a wave of his hand. Now, Jace can act once more.
I charge straight into him with my spear to stab him.
Make your attack roll.
Nat 1. But as that fails, I try again to hit him with my shield, using inspiration to knock him to the ground.
Make your roll.
Nat 20.
Strahd takes hold of your spear and rips it from your hand quite easily. But with your next attack, Strahd is pushed back slightly. He trips on his own cape and falls down.
You have to run now!
You suddenly notice that Rictavio is nowhere to be seen. But just behind the altar, there is a tile moved completely out of place. And Ismark starts rushing against Strahd, trying to keep him down. And you hear some words from behind the altar. These mysterious words, slightly recognizable for Jace. It seems to be a holy prayer for Paylor. But you also notice that the Morning Lord, the name, was inserted into that prayer. And Strahd is almost pushed away, catapulted outside of the temple. Then Rictavio steps forth. But the half-elf starts to undergo this transformation. His long hair starts to withdraw. He becomes almost completely bald. His face wrinkles completely. And his eyes look completely human. No half-elf traits. He pulls out a pair of spectacles, puts them on, and walks calmly towards Mu. He casts a spell. The strength of the Morning Lord is quite evident for Jace, empowering Rictavio, and Mu is immediately restored.
Rush to
20
their side.
points of damage are healed for Mu. And then Rictavio turns to look at all of you and says, I am Rudolf van Richten. Follow me. We have much to talk with Strahd. This way. This way. And he starts walking towards the
You
entrance.
saved our lives.
I get up.
Moo,
Thank you. Thank you. We're on a mission from God.
We're on a mission from Paylor.
Not at all, my friends. I wouldn't have been able to do anything if you didn't keep him busy. You could say it was a team effort. And Ismark, come here, boy. Let me heal you. He starts to heal Ismark to the best of his abilities. But still the bite mark remains. As you approach the entrance, Strahd is now standing. And he seems to barely contain his anger. And he says, Rictavio van Richten, I should have known. But what will you do now? I cannot enter the temple. But think about all of the people outside. Surely you do not think that I have been using all of my power against you. Rictavio is holding his stick. His knuckles turn a bit white, but he tries to remain calm and composed.
There's much to talk about.
Nice spear, Strahd. I'll recall it. back into my hand.
Strahd looks at his hand, nods. I did right in bringing you to my fine domain. You three are destined to become my most loyal servants. I never had a Minotaur as a vampire servant before. And then Rictavio speaks. Strahd, surely you do not think that I came unprepared. Irina is being taken far away from this place. As long as you remain here, she is going to be out of your grasp. Strahd counters. You are bluffing. If that were true, you wouldn't endanger her. But Strahd, you must realize that she is too far away. I am just doing this to save the people of this town, this village. And Strahd counters. But if that is true, I can just send my servants. I don't need to go there personally. I will look for Irina in my own ways. And Van Richten continues. But there is something else, Strahd. There is something else. Surely you do not think I have the power to come to this domain just like that. You did not invite me. I know about the secrets of your castle. And Strahd counters. Rictavio, I have also, rather Van Richten, I've looked into your background. It must have been a terrible tragedy to murder your own son after he was turned into our side. Rictavio's knuckles start to whiten, and he starts to have a coughing fit. And he starts to look at the three of you as if trying to ask for something.
Pat him on the back. Are you
I
okay,
give him
big guy?
I open my water skin and hand it to him.
Somebody threw holy water at the trash, man.
Don't worry about this bloodsucker. We'll get him next time. Hey, Strahd, I'll stake you later, buddy.
No way am I going to be your servant,
Rictavio.
dude. Never.
Rictavio, or rather Rudolf Van Richten, starts to drink and he calms down. Well, Strahd, I didn't want to do this, but I will have to reveal my trump card. I came here with a friend, with the help of a friend that you probably know. A friend by the name of Asalin the Leash. When Van Richten mentions this name, Strahd, his eyes open like saucers. You can see a hellish red glow. And he says, surely, Van Richten, you did not. Yes, Strahd, I did. We came together with the help of a powerful artifact. Right now, Asalin is going to your castle and he's going to take down the thing that you value the most. Rictavio is helped by Moog. And Strahd, he starts to bleed from his mouth. It seems as if he has bitten his own tongue. I warn you, Van Richten, if this is a lie, I will take you. I will turn you into a vampire. I will kill you, and I will raise you again and again. And that's for you three, Moo, Jace, Marcus. I am pleased, so pleased to finally get to know you. You are such valuable subjects. Please visit me as soon as possible. I have matters to attend to. You are always welcome to come to Castle Ravenhawk. And with a gesture, he turns into a swarm of bats and flies away.
Fall down
His
to
mark
I
his
suddenly
hate
says,
vampires.
I don't think I want to visit him. I don't know about the rest of you.
I hate vampires.
That was close, you guys.
We need to do some
my
library research.
friends, even though I was beaten, you amaze me. I have never heard of someone surviving against Strahd. You are surely the champions of prophecy.
I don't know.
Well-
But it's good enough for now.
Suddenly,
Good enough for
you see a group of were-ravens. They are shielding someone, keeping someone safe under their wings. And they disclose Irina, but still under cowl. She rushes towards Isaac, who lies dead, and she is crying for him. Ismark approaches, and Irina looks at all of you and she says, "Now I remember. Isaac is my brother, was my brother of flesh and blood."
Approach Isaac.
He's surprised.
Your brother.
Isaac is still alive and looks in Jason's direction, but it is obvious for Jason's expert eyes that he's about to pass away.
I lay a hand on
You
him.
know what,
Spare the dying.
stranger, if I were to ever have they call drinking body, I would have chosen you. And he looks at Irina. Irina, they say I never had a soul, that I always tortured and killed people. But ever since you were taken from me when I was a boy, I felt as if my soul was taken. And Isaac passes away completely. Irina cries. And one of the were ravens turns into Irvin, the keeper, the owner of the inn. My friends, you were incredible. Come, let us hurry to the inn. Of course, I will give you free room and food for the night.
Much appreciate that.
Isn't it safer in the church? Strahd can't come into church.
You could bury Isaac.
Rictavio or Van Richten looks at all of you and says, "The power of the holy bones will keep the temple safe, but the protection does not extend to the rest of Vallaki. But I think that Strahd is going to search the entirety of Castle Ravenloft. You have no idea how paranoid vampire lords are, especially when their most hated enemy could be entering their castle."
Makes sense.
Was it Aselin?
sense.
You said is
Let
the
us-
lich.
Yes, let us ask
It
him.
is Asalin the Lich, and I must confess that he is not here. I made a certain bargain.
I like you, friend. I like you.
Thank you.
I am known in some demiplanes of dread as the greatest vampire hunter. Not because of my power, but because of my wit. That's an old Van Richten trick. So,
Believe it.
let us go to the inn. We have much to rest, and in the morning, we have much to discuss.
I'd like to learn more about these tricks. Might come in handy in the future.
Give Isaac a
Thank
little
you for-
prayer.
Have
Thank
you
you.
heard of garlic bread?
That's very funny.
I think we should mix them.
And so you move
I say Isaac or a prayer for
after
Isaac before we leave.
After Jace finishes his prayer, and Isaac seems to be at peace, apparently. You see that Milivoj approaches the one perhaps responsible for the missing bones. He stands before you with his head down, sad, and says, I am well aware that it is all my fault. I am a murderer. By stealing the bones, Lucian is dead. I saw him when Strahd killed him, and I could only run. But now I will atone. I will swear my life to the Morning Lord and become the new keeper of this temple. I swear it. And he walks in the direction of the temple. I promise I will give burial to everyone within the temple and outside of it. The other townspeople are already taking care of their dead. And he continues on to the temple. As you make your way towards the village is total hell. There are cadavers everywhere, both of the zombies and villagers. There seem to also be vampires, perhaps. It is difficult to tell. It is all a complete
We need
mess.
to burn the bodies.
And you spot Blinsky helping others carry the corpses. And now you are inside of the inn, and Urwin points you to different rooms in the second floor. And he says, whenever you want to rest, my friends, we have much to talk, as Rictavio has said.
Thank you.
Should we have a short rest, or should we figure out what's going on here? I feel like,
Well, we should talk.
yeah.
We can talk
And-
indefinitely. We'll need a long rest soon.
We need to make sure
Indeed.
though that
Indeed.
the bodies are dealt with in a way.
How about some
we
drinks
have
for now? There's
no
a-
more zombies or vampires arising.
very
Van
smart.
Richten suddenly looks at you and says, if you wish, we could hold council at this very moment to speak about how you will proceed later on.
Sounds good.
I think we should do that.
And so, by hearing this, Erwin snaps his fingers, and several other people start to arrange a table. Wooden stools are placed around the table, and Ismark, Irina, Van Richten, and Erwin sit down and motion for you to take your seats as well.
I sit.
Take a seat as well.
Orwin says, I brought the largest seat available for Moo. I hope it is enough.
I'll be gentle. Gently sit down in your seat.
And so you are all seated. Van Richten starts to talk. So, my friends, I have noticed that during your fight, and I must apologize, I was watching the entire thing while hiding. I needed Strahd to be unaware of my presence in order to carry out the incantation for the bones.
Did you see how I smashed
This
him in his
incantation-
face with my shield?
Yes, it was incredible. I don't think anyone has accomplished that. At least not while Strahd was now in his vampire form. But I am certain that Strahd was human once. He dares to call himself the first vampire, but that has not been verified. Did you see that every wound inflicted upon Strahd healed almost immediately?
I noticed this, yes.
We did. Yes. I thought we were definitely doomed.
And he was almost impossibly strong. I saw Moo taking Strahd head on. And he dealt with Mu with such ease. I am certain that there is some sort of power source within the castle. I also guessed that as well.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Strahd has committed a fatal error. By letting his anger towards Asalin get the best of him, he has revealed that there is something in the castle that grants him power beyond the average vampire lord.
That makes a lot of sense.
But still, as Jace kept on dealing damage and using spells, I noticed that he was still quite fast in his regeneration. So we must consider Strahd a deadly opponent that has an advantage based on that mysterious power source. But still, if you manage to find that source of power, Strahd will still be formidable.
Seeing
And
the Silver Seer slow down his healing a bit.
Yes, perhaps that is a possibility, although I did not notice quite well. It could be also that Strahd was also toying with you. He was very interested in keeping you as his servants. I am certain that he is going to try to convert you into vampires.
I serve only one master, and that is the Morning Lord.
In my research of Strahd, I have heard of rumors that he has powerful spells to make the skin rot and wither at a distance. He did not do that. I am certain that he only used a small fraction of his spells.
It's alarming.
We did hear he was a powerful warrior who then became a powerful wizard.
And
I
suddenly
want to
Ismark
create some weapons.
speaks. I'm sorry, Mu. I couldn't hear you. It was too low. You can feel comfortable to speak in your normal, powerful Minotaur voice before us.
I wish to create some weapons designed specifically to harm vampires.
That is a great idea. What do you say, Van Richten? It is common for vampire hunters to fashion implements of destruction. But I also think that it is very important to find those mysterious treasures that Madame Eva told you about.
I
Absolutely.
agree with both of these points, actually.
Now, I am also quite disturbed. I also observed that Strahd was moving impossibly fast. And even though he lost his impressive regeneration, he was still moving blindingly fast. It was so real, as if we were in a nightmare. We must consider that Strahd is probably capable of striking even more times per second, perhaps, and moving even faster still.
Is that not normal for a vampire? That's my first vampire I encountered. I thought they can all move fast that way.
I have never encountered that. Imagine my disbelief as I was watching the first vampire in all of my career accomplishing those things. And it is my educated guess that that does not rely on a power source.
It could be a spell.
That could be it. Perhaps he had cast a spell upon himself before the battle. Yes.
We'll have to do
I
something to deal
know
with that.
of a spell that would do that.
Ah, yes. Perhaps similar to a haste spell or something. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out a way to
It
deal with that
does only
speed.
affect him. If it's the same, if it's a spell, I think it is, that I am aware of.
Orwin suddenly speaks. As the keepers of the feather, we have observed many things. We have observed powerful spellcasters use something called time stop. Could that be it? Rictavio speaks. That could be. I am not exactly the most knowledgeable spellcaster.
Possible?
Our friends, the
That's
Were
one I
Ravens,
don't know.
told me that Mordenkainen is capable of such feats. Perhaps he knows about this. And then Erwin continues. I will send some agents to contact Mordenkainen. My Were Ravens can fly great distances. Perhaps we can ask about that.
Sounds good to me. Mordekainen's an old friend of ours now.
Master Vampire Killer. Unrestricted. Does
Irina
garlic
suddenly-
work against
Irina interrupts
vampires?
abruptly. But what can I do? Strahd is after me, but I also wish to fight. Van Richteren speaks. This is a problem. Strahd is completely focused on Irina. He looks at Mu and Jace and Marcus. Should we leave Irina someplace safe, or would she be safer with you?
Is there a safe place here?
The church, the temple.
Church is safe,
Strahd cannot go in there.
and
Could we rely on
not-
that man to keep the bones in place and the
So long as the
Protect the
bones are in
magic.
place.
and she still has the magical armor, as long as I don't need to use any more of that type of magic.
Ismark speaks. I think Irina could be safe in the temple. After all, we brought her to Valaki to keep her safe. But we know that the bones keep Strahd outside. But what if someone else, human servants, Vistani, or some other creature is sent to attack Irina? Erwin speaks. As the keepers of the feather, we can provide Irina protection, but we are not invincible. I can tell you right now, if Strahd were to attack us on his own, we will not survive. But anything else, we can deal with it. The choice is yours. Leave Irina under our protection, or Ismark speaks. Or perhaps we could take her to far to the west, to the village of Gresk. Erwin speaks. I am not so certain. There have been some disturbing reports of disappearances. Our branch stationed in the winery to the west. They have more knowledge about these things, but we have been incommunicated with them.
Why is that?
No contact whatsoever. We usually had Were Ravens flying between the winery and the inn, and they stopped coming.
Why don't you accompany us and you can find out what happened there as well with us? And you can protect.
So either the winery, something has happened to everyone in Gress,
I'm just
or
thinking.
something's interfering with.
With the War
Anybody-
Ravens and everyone together, I think we stand a much stronger chance. If they'd like to
I
accompany.
think if we're too big of a crowd as well, then it would stick out easier to any of the agents that work for Strahd and easily point out our location.
Well, I'm not exactly subtle,
So-
guys.
I definitely think protection is great, but also if there's too many of us, it'll be easy for a Vistani or someone else to tell
Perhaps
Strahd
Arena.
exactly. But
Perhaps Arena should decide.
But if she did come with us to the west of that location, we could go to the tower past here to the west in the mountains
Yes, we could.
and grab those items. After that fight with Strahd, I think we need to hurry and get all the items we need.
We
Because
definitely need
won't-
those.
We won't survive the next time without them. And
Only
that's
by
back
the power of
originally.
the Morning Lord did we survive that fight.
The temple and the bones were the only reason we survived. Well, I'm sorry, and Van Richten, of course you, but the temple was the key there.
Van Richten suddenly speaks. I am quite worried about the people in Balaki. I have just heard, while you were being escorted to your rooms, I have heard that the people they went into this madness after Jace started this commotion in order to reach Strahd. The people rebelled against the tyrant. The Baron is now dead, but they went almost completely insane. This demiplane has that effect. They burned 2 buildings down, the house of the Baron, Vargas, but also the house of the cult. You could hear the screams of people coming from inside. I am afraid that perhaps prisoners were killed. Suddenly, Jace feels as if some sort of shadowy presence is fixated upon him. Something from this plane.
Yes. I feel something. What is that? What's going on?
You feel.
Feels very strange. A presence.
But the presence of the Morning Lord, everyone feels this calmness, rejects this in some way. Van Richten speaks. I am somewhat knowledgeable in clerical magic, as you have seen. And yes, I sense that disturbance. This horrible place, it will try to corrupt you. Any sort of thing that you do, justified or not, it will try to cling to that sin and will attempt to turn you into a monster.
That is not good. I will need to meditate on this.
Irina,
Cleanse this
I think
feeling
you
of
should,
dread.
if it's okay with you, I think you should come with us. Ultimately, it's your decision, but if the whole town has turned and they're already burning buildings, what's to say they don't burn the temple next?
Irina nods. I will go with you. I can still fight. And Ismark says, but Irina, wouldn't it be safer if you were to go into the temple and... No, Ismark. The people in this village need protection. And look how many people have already died. They have almost no guards, probably. And the White Ravens have been so kind. They should focus on protecting the people of Balaki. I will go with you. Ismark says, fine, but as soon as we find out if Kresk is a safe place, you will stay there. Yes, I promise that. And suddenly Van Richten speaks. Could there be something else that we could use to our advantage? Everything about vampire killing consists of preparation. Suddenly Ismark speaks. Wait a minute. It could be a trap, but didn't Arabella tell us that she had some sort of reward for us because we rescued her? If we were to go to the southwest to the Vistani village, and Van Richten interrupts. No, Vistani, no, do not trust them. Do not. I've only had a few pleasant encounters with them. I am actually quite close to one of them. Not in this domain, but the Vistani are treacherous. Erwin speaks. Some Vistani actually value honor and depths. It could be, despite their loyalty to Strahd, perhaps they feel grateful for the action done towards Arabella.
I concur that might be a possibility if we talk to her father. Her uncle's the reason we're here, will ultimately Strahd, but I don't think we should bring Irina with us if we go there, because they would definitely tell us. Before the two of you came here, Strahd spoke to me, and I said she already had went down to that town. And he said he has many people there who are loyal to him and report to him. So if we bring her there, they would definitely tell him.
If
That
we
is very
go
wise.
there, we should go in disguise.
What
That's an
disguise
excellent
would you?
idea.
What disguise would you wear, Moo?
Well, the problem is, even if we're in
I would have-
disguise, the girl will tell them, no, who we are. If we're going there for this reward, we have to reveal ourselves.
Well, we have to go see her father.
I have an
Now.
idea. We could arrange something to make it look as if Mu is a demon summoned by perhaps a Vistani sorcerer. She has the horns. We can disguise her like that, and you could make your way to the village.
Yes, with a lot of fabrics and the whole get
Sounds like
up.
a fun plan.
And you two will have to dress like the sun.
Erwin speaks. We have some clothes that could serve to create the perfect disguise for all of that, both the demon and the Vistani people.
And I seem to remember that when we entered the village, there was a traveling wagon, a show.
That wagon was going to Strahd's, wasn't it?
No, that belongs to Rick Tavio, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yes, that is actually, you could say it's the house for my pet. As soon as the disturbances occurred, I released a saber-toothed tiger that I brought from faraway lands, and it tore apart many of the zombies. I now need to look for it. It's probably in the wilderness, hopefully not killing anyone. I will accomplish that first thing in the morning because during the night, even I am in danger.
Could we disguise your wagon as a Vistani wagon?
Yes, that is an excellent choice. An excellent idea. I will see if perhaps the Keepers of the Feather can build some sort of makeshift cage for my pet, and I could lend you the wagon. That is an excellent plan.
I like it.
Given the right tools, I'm pretty good at disguises myself. I'm skilled in the art of disguising.
I almost wonder if I should stay here and help protect the town while you guys do this.
As far as weapons, I was
Not very
thinking
charismatic.
if there's a glassmaker in town.
I think we should just have you, if you don't feel charismatic, just let the rest of us do the talking.
Perhaps I will be your guys' slave gift to them. That will be my disguise. I won't talk at all.
Well, we don't
Just
want to leave you
just
there.
don't lock. Just don't chain me up. I'll get out.
I think we can just say you're a mute. It'll be far easier.
You're a smart man, Marcus.
If we could make small vials that can be attached, that we can fill with holy water,
I slam a holy water bottle on the table. It's yours, Moo.
that I can attach to crossbow bolts as the tip. Make sure the bolts themselves are wood. And then as well, tip your silver sword. I mean your silver spear with one of these breakable vials. So at least the first hits you manage to hit with that sword, but the spear will do additional damage. Because vampires just don't like holy water. And we need to find garlic.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps I can help make some in the temple before we leave. Some extra holy water.
And then if I can get some larger, we could make breakable things we can throw as well.
Rictavio speaks. Oh, I believe that in those distant lands, they used to call those things the holy hand or something. But yes, I understand. I understand the concept.
This is a great idea.
And then everybody should also have, if we have to fight Strahd again.
Hopefully that's a while from now.
We should definitely consider putting holy water on our weapons.
Erwin speaks. I will secure all of the materials. I will find the best glass makers. And consider it done. You will have all of the materials.
And I
But
can
suddenly,
tinker it all together.
Rictavio interrupts. Now, all of that is set, so we are ready. As I understand it, you will disguise yourselves. You will infiltrate the Vistana village in the southwest. You will see if there is some sort of reward for rescuing Arabella. And Irina will stay in the temple while you do that. Did I update that? Did I get that correctly?
Sounds good.
Yes, then
Yes.
we'll make haste and come back and then head west to the mountains.
Very well. How close do you think you are to one of those treasures that Madame Eva spoke to you? And suddenly, Jace feels some sort of pull towards the northeast of the village.
Lord, I think let you guys have a conversation. I feel like I need to go have a walk.
Are you sure it's safe to go by yourself?
I
When we
think
first
I'll
came to this town, I felt a great evil.
I felt something too, and it was a blessing. I think maybe this might be another blessing.
Suddenly, Marcus hears the voice of his demonic patron. Marcus, the cult has been eradicated. I do not sense any rivals anymore in this place. It has all gone down. It has all proceeded quite well, Marcus.
Sorry.
It's
Are
all
you
right.
sure?
You okay, Marcus?
Yes, it's just sorry. Are you sure you'll be okay by yourself, Jace?
I think I'll be fine. I just need a good walk.
Take your spear and your
Of
holy
course.
water.
Of course. Grab the holy off the table and put it back into my satchel.
I look over at Moo. Are you sure it's wise for him to go by himself?
I yell back, if I'm not back in 20 minutes, just wait longer.
Last time I went by myself, I faced Strahd. I don't feel comfortable about him going by himself.
Well, we're on a mission apparently from Palar. The priest must do what the priest must do.
As Jace walks through the street, he sees more scenes of carnage, destruction, death. And he notices that in the direction in which he's being pulled, he feels this pull from the Morning Lord. It is exactly in a 2-story house, probably the house of the Vactor cult. As you see, many people in robes just outside, butchered, their corpses spread about like trash. But the 2-story building is still burning. And you are certain, Jace is certain, due to the grace of the Morning Lord, that one of those treasures is within that inferno.
I'll rush inside.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Eight.
As Jace
Pour water all over myself with the water skin.
As Jace moves through the inferno, he is somewhat singed by the fire, taking 4 points of fire damage. And just in front of him, as if by some sort of divine providence, lies the handle of a sword, a golden handle, but no blade. It is lying there.
Grab it. And if it's singeing hot, I try to run out and ignore the pain.
5 points of fire damage.
I run out, my hand burning. I'm just laying on the ground at this point.
Jace immediately notices that perhaps it was due to the protection of the Morning Lord or the magical nature of the artifact itself that his hand did not melt like butter. And he obtains this flow of emotions. The item is communicating with Jace through emotions. This powerful item. And suddenly, A blade of pure light springs forth, as long as a long sword. But the item communicates that it can be wielded by those that are familiar with simple weapons. But it requires some sort of attunement in order to obtain more information about it.
Of course. I'll hold on to it. It's kind of singed in my flesh a little bit. I'll start walking back to the inn.
Suddenly, Ismark continues speaking with Marcus and Mu. I have heard every now and then these rumors of dusk elves. They are very different from elves from other planes of existence. It is rumored that they, and suddenly he notices that Jace enters. It is rumored that these dusk elves are actually living with the Vistani, some of the Vistani tribes or encampments. Perhaps, maybe you can find them there. Oh, by the way, my friends, do you want me to go with you, or would you prefer for me to stay here and help protect Irina? I would prefer that.
I think you should protect her. I would feel better. I was actually going to suggest that.
But
Yes.
do not go and try face Strahd again without me. I felt this strange ability. Jace noticed it. Marcus as well. It felt as if I could channel some sort of energy. I think that I can be of some sort of divine inspirational use for you.
We will attempt to avoid Strahd. We need to prepare for Strahd.
Yes, most certain. And so Rictavio speaks. Jace, what can you tell us? What did you find?
I don't know. Some kind of weapon here. It was in a burning house. Was drawn to it. My hand almost melted off. I show her my half mutilated hand.
It left a nasty cross-looking scar, or perhaps it is some sort of protection. No one knows exactly. But I sense that artifact is magical the moment. Perhaps, could it be one of the treasures?
I believe it could be. This is a little blade comes up. This could be one of them.
An amazing weapon.
Everyone is impressed.
I can.
And Mu identifies that this particular artifact actually has some sort of technology from her own world.
Yes,
Look.
I've
You have to pry it from my hand. It's a little singed. Ugh. I'll heal my own hand at this point.
we've seen these before. You will have to work with it, become one with it. They are massively powerful.
Interesting.
Cut through all sorts of things. And cauterize.
And hopefully vampires take the sword back.
So, my friends, I think we have set a solid plan. I advise that we retire to fully rest before this dangerous enterprise.
Agreed.
Yes. Need to rest.
Long
Let our
rest.
wounds heal. I've got things to make.
If you do.
And so everyone retires to their assigned quarters, and Mu is provided all of the materials needed for her works. The night continues without problems. And now it is morning, and everyone is preparing for what is about to occur.
After I get dressed, I cast the spell Tempest Salutum, and I cast false life on myself for an additional 5 temporary hit points.
and so it is accomplished. It is also quite noticeable that Mordenkainen's blessing is no longer active. His charm does no longer have an effect on Mu. But those that did not speak Mordenkainen's name aloud, it is still quite active, or ready to be activated, rather. Suddenly, as soon as you proceed to the lower floor, Ismark speaks. Good luck, my friends. As I was saying, I think that these Dusk Elves, they could be within that camp, perhaps. Perhaps they are not allies of Strahd. Perhaps they are just allies of convenience with the Vistani. I would recommend that you speak to them. They always appear quite knowledgeable in the rumors.
That sounds
Yes.
good. We have to be careful who we talk to, because when I mentioned that town, I lied to Strahd and told him Irina had headed there. He seems to know a lot of people there. We have to be careful who we talk to.
I'll let you do all the talking.
As you start making your way, it is now a gloomy looking morning. Everything is cold and cloudy. You easily make your way outside of the town, the village. You immediately spot, after about an hour of walking, you spot a huge mound. Surrounding that mound, there are several cottages or huts. And on top of that mound, or rather perhaps a small hill, there are many tents. As you approach the place in fully disguised, using Rictavio's vehicle as a Vistani wagon, you see a strange-looking elf, perhaps a scout by the way that he is dressed. His skin looks ashy when compared to other elves. He walks towards you and speaks in common. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Ted.
Ted, but and what about your friend did not speak at all?
He doesn't speak. He's a mute.
So Ted, I take it you are some sort of summoner, because that is a demon, is it not?
Yes, you can say that. Can't give away all my secrets as part of my act.
That's very interesting. I think you should have words with my leader before you. Are you perhaps planning on visiting the Vistani up the mound, up the hill?
Yes, we were. We heard great things about this town.
Well, you have heard wrong.
Oh,
This is a town of great evil. And I think it is in your interest, when it comes to getting introduced to my leader. We have some things that could be of interest, perhaps.
do tell, please.
He starts walking, motioning for you to follow him to one of the cottages.
I've never seen an elf like you.
Yes, we are not around. We are not from around this place. We come from another place. We are stranded.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, you can thank Strahd for that.
Oh, is he a friend of yours?
That devil Strahd, he has killed all of our females. We are destined to die.
Oh, how unfortunate. So, I heard the Vistani are allies of Strahd. Are you not an ally as well?
Only more like his servants, sadly. We either do that or we are extinguished completely. we still have hope that perhaps we could recover if we only had the bones of one of our own, one of our beautiful, virtuous ladies. Perhaps there could be some hope for us, but we have none. No bones.
Bones of an female. What type of elf are you? Are you the dusk elves I've heard of?
Yes, they call us that. Dusk elves.
Where did your females die? Perhaps if we are traveling the land with our show, maybe we might run into somewhere where these bones may be.
Yes, I think it would be a great idea to talk to our leader, Casimir. Here, this way. He opens the door to the cottage. The interior looks quite elegant. And you see at the very end, there is an elf sitting in an elegant looking chair. The elf has some sort of crown made of twigs, and there are some plants on top of it. Please step inside.
I step in. Thank you, Casimir. I am Ted. My pleasure to meet you.
It is my pleasure. So my man says that we Dusk Elves share a certain bond. And I can sense that he has brought you here because you are not exactly from this part of Barovia.
We are not. We are from a very distant land, much like yourselves.
We also have our spies, the Keepers of the Feather. They are not the only ones with a spy network. We have been watching you for a few moments, every now and then. We have not fully focused on you, but I am well aware that you are disguised, that you can drop the facade.
Oh,
Jace.
well, in that case, he's Jace and I am Marcus.
I am Jace.
Yes, and I can see Moo. Of course.
She likes to hide in the shadows every now and then.
And yes, I see. I am not very familiar with the ways of the Minotaurs. We Dusk Elves have something we want to accomplish, separate from the ghosts of the Vistani. We want to restore our race. We want to escape this domain if possible. But I think that we could perhaps offer you some help in exchange for your own assistance. Tell me, what is it that you seek?
We seek the ability to destroy Strahd and free ourselves from this domain.
That sounds like a wonderful idea and impossible at the same time. And do not mention anything about destroying Strahd in the upper side of the village. They will kill you immediately. They
Of course.
worship Strahd.
This is why I usually don't talk.
Oh, you probably heard we faced him already at the temple.
Yes, most impressive and a source of hope. But I have to say, how do you even intend to destroy Strahd?
There's many tasks ahead of us and equipment and gear we need. Our Minotaur friend is quite skilled at making arms.
So you
You have to
plan to
excuse
face him.
me. But yes, I'm not going to be completely open with you because honestly, I don't know if you work for Strahd. Perhaps you work with the Vistani. You have to understand our position. You're here with the Vistani. I understand your predicament, but I'm not sold.
Yes, that is wise. We still ignore many things about you. In that way, the Keepers of the Feather have an advantage over our spy network. But it is in our interest to help you defeat Strahd if it's even possible. We Dusk Elves have seen many so-called adventurers, heroes coming from different planes. They all fall sooner rather than later. You are the first ones to survive an encounter with Strahd. That is a source of hope. But if you need any sort of information, you don't need to tell me what exactly you are seeking. But if you need information, let us know. We have spies through various places.
What could you offer us? What knowledge do you have that we could use to destroy Strahd with?
We know many things about the geography in Varovia. If you're looking for particular sites, maybe we know about those places.
Give us a moment.
We are in. I'll look him up and down, getting a sense that perhaps he's not lying to me. We are looking for a white tower in the mountains, far, far west of Villaki.
A tower.
A white tower.
It must be. But if it's that tower, there are many dangers. Our network has seen a tower far to the southwest. It is next to a bridge. But the dangers, I do not know if it is wise. You should only go there if it's absolutely necessary. I hear that a branch of the Keepers of the Feather in a winery to the west, they know about many things in the southwest section of this domain.
Interesting. Have you heard anything of amber giants roaming the realm? Barovia?
Suddenly the elf speaks almost like an elven curse. Saplunga, it could be the Amber Temple. The Amber Temple, I must go there. If you plan to go there, the moment you initiate an expedition, you must take me there. The key to saving our race, it could be there.
Are you a strong warrior?
I am one of the best.
Glad to have you, as long as Marcus says it's okay.
I think it is. We can use the extra help. Keep our numbers
It's one
small.
of our destinations, most definitely.
But I have to attend to responsibilities. I am the leader of my people, so I can only accompany you when you are certain that you will go towards that temple. And I have heard so many bad things about it. My spies have spoken about terrifying magics. It is said that Strahd himself has visited that temple often. I have actually feared encountering Strahd on his way to that temple.
Don't worry about that guy.
Mm.
Put another dent in his head for him.
And do tell, why did you visit this village? You are almost in the middle of the people that are most loyal to Strahd.
My friends here, the three of
Things
us,
are not always as they seem.
we save a young child, Arabella. We were told that if we came here, perhaps her father would be indebted to us somehow.
It
Despite
is
the
a good
loyalty
thing.
that the Vastani have to Strahd, they have a sense of a moral code, I guess, that they themselves hold. So he would feel indebted to us.
It is a good thing that you came, these guys. Keep these guys on and make your way up the hill. Do not speak to the Vistani. They have a certain language of their own. If they identify that you are not from them, or if you are unfamiliar with their ways, they will attack you. So I advise that you go straight to the largest tent. That is the tent of their leader. There are two brothers there. They are not exactly alike. They are both violent and dangerous. One of them is Arigal. He is perhaps the most loyal to Strahd. The other one is Lubash. He is actually the father of Arabella. Enter that tent and immediately speak. Depth of blood. You must say depth of blood, and they will be forced to grant you safe passage.
That of blood.
I think that is all the help I can offer to you. If you want my advice, I have to accept that the Keepers of the Feather are more knowledgeable about the southwest section of Barovia. I would strongly advise, that you head to the winery in the west and obtain information from that branch of the Keepers of the Feather.
Thank you for the advice.
Thank you. Thank
For
you.
both.
We'll be
Very
back.
We
helpful.
will let you
We'll be
know
back.
when we're ready for the Amber Temple.
Save your race.
We shall triumph,
Yes.
my friends. Now,
Yes.
go. I will instruct my agents to try to make way for you. Distract the Vistani as you make your way towards the tent.
Thank you once again.
I resume my role in the wagon of a demon.
Get
Let's
my
go.
mute face on.
And so it is easy for you to make your way out of the cabin, walking up the hill. You notice that all of the dusk elves around, they suddenly start to act very friendly with the Vistani. They start to grab them by the shoulder, talk with them, subtly making way for you. And you see a huge tent in the middle.
I quickly enter.
I follow my head down.
The moment you enter, you spot Arabella. You see a bear of a man, a huge man, and Jace and Marcus immediately recognize Arigal. Arigal looks at you, and he sees through your disguise. He whispers something to his brother, and his brother stands up violently.
Wait, one moment. This young
That's
girl
of
recognizes
the
us.
blood.
And
We
suddenly
saved,
Arabella
we saved your daughter, Arabella.
Arabella speaks. Yes, that's Marcus, and that's Mo, and that's Jace. They rescued me, father. The depth of the blood, father. And suddenly Lubash relaxes. Ah, the depth of blood. Strahd has given us orders to take you to Castle Ravenhawk, but a debt is a debt. You rescued Arabella, and so I shall reward you. He claps his hands, and what appears to be a servant walks by. He whispers something into the servant's ear, and the servant walks away. Wait a moment, please. So you are given your reward. And suddenly Arigal speaks. My friends, I am so glad that you were able to accept Strahd's invitation. Have you been having fun in our fine domain?
Oh, yes, thank you for inviting
Yes.
us here.
Yes,
It's
we
been
have
quite
been
an
having fun.
adventure.
It's
stay
an
mute.
adventure to die for.
I stay mute and perceptive of anything going on.
And suddenly
How have you been, Arabella?
the servant returns with a small coffer and opens it. Lubash, this huge man, he looks definitely inspiringly so. He's a source of inspiration for everyone in his village, as all of the people around him, 3 in total, are looking at him with awe and respect. The huge man with a beard pulls out a sack of gold. Here, as you can notice from the sound, 500 gold pieces. You there, Minotaur, take it.
I take the sack.
And that is not all. I am very grateful for you. You rescued the most precious being for me in my entire life. I will never meet someone as Arabella, my darling. So I will also give you this. scroll of Raise the Dead. He hands it over to whoever wants to take it.
I'll bow to him.
Now you must leave this place. Strahd has given us orders. I am not capable of restraining everyone. In fact, if I ever see you again, I will have to act against you. You must understand.
It's understandable.
Understood.
You have to say
Travel well.
Strahd's a powerful man. We get it. Let's go quickly.
Yes.
Your only regret is we didn't kill whoever took your little one. We'll find
Both
him.
Lubash and Arigal smile, but Lubash smiles with authentic gratefulness, apparently. But Arigal is smiling somewhat maliciously.
I can't wait till we meet again. I still have the letter you gave me here. Right here. I hold it here dearly. You're quite the
Arigal
forger.
suddenly seems to be taken aback for a moment, for just a second. And yes, I'm sure. We will probably meet again.
Yes, I look forward to it.
And so you make your way outside. The elves are still keeping everyone busy. And
Let's
it is
make
easy
haste.
enough for you
Back in the wagon.
to make your exit. And the way is completely clear if you want to return to Valaki.
Back to Valaki.
Back to Velocity.
I think we're safe now. We're far enough, Jace. You can talk now. Let's get
That was very
back to
scary.
Valaki and make sure we get Arena and head
I'd be-
west.
I believe
Should we talk
Keepers.
to that Dusk Elf about the Amber Giant?
Lubosh has a bigger problem than he knows.
Yes, it's true.
I believe his brother was the one who tried to kill his daughter.
Ooh,
That's interesting.
very.
Why would he do something like that?
So, I do not know how Vistani reckons their
People are always trying to kill kids in this place.
well, there is that, of course, we've noticed, but also I do not know how they reckon their leadership through their family lines.
That's true. Probably to distraught his brother, and he can say he's not sane, and
Before
seems
we
he does have a lot of love for his daughter, and can say he wasn't fit to lead. It's very
Or
interesting.
perhaps-
I wonder if
Perhaps-
that Dusk Elves have any more information about that, you guys. They seem to be very friendly. with it.
We could ask the war ravens about the Vistani
It's true too.
customs.
I think we should just head back to Valaki. We're
I think
already
we
quite
should
far away. I'm afraid to go
get
back
out
and
of
risk
here.
it.
I don't want to go back.
As you approach Valaki, you can see that just outside stands Ismark and Erwin. And they immediately welcome you. Ismark speaks. Oh, so it worked. I am so glad. What did you find there?
Well, Strahd wants us.
Seems the Dusk Elves really want they want to leave this place, and that they want to destroy Strahd. Their leader said if he would join us at some point.
They are going to work with us. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, Casimir. He said he would
Eventually,
give
yeah.
us any information if we need any information of the land. But
If we know
Erwin, he said the keepers of the feather to the west might have more information about a white tower that we're looking for in the mountains. He said it's to the southwest, next to a bridge.
That is very interesting. So we have a potential ally.
Yes.
Yes.
Does anybody know how the Vistani handle inheritance of leadership roles.
Erwin speaks. Ah, yes, you mean like succession of leadership and those sorts of things.
Yes.
As I understand it, and they are very secretive, but the Vistani, they value family above everything. They always inherit the position of leadership, but if a family member were to die, then the next of kin, the brother, the cousin, the daughter, son, they would take leadership. Why do you ask that?
So if you had a chief who had a child, and that child was killed, and they had no other children, and then that chief died, then it would go to one of his brothers or other siblings, correct?
That is correct. And suddenly Ismark speaks. Ah, so what you are saying is that perhaps Arabella was part of some sort of nefarious plot.
Yes,
Seems so.
she may have been it may have been an assassination attempt on her, which would then be followed by another assassination.
And suddenly Erwin speaks. But do we have any proof of this? What is the incriminating evidence of this?
Just the behavior of his brother. And it seemed to me the man in the boat was rather about the right size of his brother. And he would have had to have easy access to a child that's heavily guarded.
Ismark speaks. So you are, as I understand that you are familiar with this Arigal person. Do you think he is capable of doing such a thing, or perhaps even disguising himself in order to kidnap Arabella?
Power corrupts.
This is true.
You know, even if it didn't happen, if we could somehow send a letter there addressed to Lovish with that information, just even if within themselves there's suspicion,
It's a good idea.
would at least maybe weaken them a bit, at least the network. I think.
Weaken the alliance with Strahd, yeah.
Erwin speaks. That is an excellent idea. We could create a fracture between the Vistani. They wouldn't be able to work efficiently as spies like that. There could be two factions, the faction of one leader and the usurper.
I like this plan a lot.
None should be warned.
Maybe we can make
Let
it.
us War Ravens take care of that. My spy network will make sure they get that message.
And I did tell Lubbish and his brother the only thing we've regretted so far was not being able to kill the man who took his daughter. But eventually that would happen.
Ismark speaks. Killing two birds, or perhaps you could say two bats with one stone.
Yes, yes.
Yes, the birds are our friends.
And everyone laughs. Yeah. And
The more
suddenly
bats
Irina
we kill,
steps
the
out of
better.
the temple. I am ready to make the journey
Irina.
with you. And she has a cowl, black cowl, covering almost the entirety of her face. And Ismark speaks.
Excellent.
Yes, Irina, it is better for you to remain disguised so that Strahd spies have no idea about your whereabouts.
That's head west, right?
What weapon will you wield, Arena?
Excuse me, I did not hear you, Jace.
What weapon will you be wielding?
Just my normal sword. It has been sufficient so far.
Are you good with the spear? Oh, show her my spear.
That now has the holy water tip.
I think I would be okay with just having a bottle of holy water.
Okay.
your throwing arm?
Exactly.
Suddenly, Erwin speaks. As I have advised, go to the west, to the winery. It is very easy to find. There is a signpost leading you towards it. But I have to warn you that my father is running that winery, and he has not a very pleasant memory of mine, family problems. He is a wise man, a decent man, but make sure you do not speak my name too much, only if necessary. Just mention that you are friends of the Keeper of the Feather, and he suddenly half transforms part of his arm, plucks out a feather, and gives it to Marcus.
Thank you.
Show him this feather. He won't know exactly who this feather is from. And my father will assist you. We must, if he is still alive, I must come to the grim realization that we haven't heard from them in weeks. Anything could have happened.
Yes, but stay hopeful. Trust.
I will, Moo.
Come
I
on.
will.
We'll let you know as soon as we can.
You will easily recognize my father and his people. They are dressed in these robes with many metallic objects hanging from them. I think they are more raven than me in that regard. You know how ravens love those shiny things.
They love
the
the
shiny.
baubles. They love their baubles.
Yes, indeed. So, with all of my blessing and hope, go forth, my friends, to the west.
Thank
To the
you.
west.
To the west.
Did the two of you want to buy stuff with that gold? Or we're good?
I don't know. I kind of got this cool new weapon, man. I'm pretty.
All right, let's go. Let's
What about
hurry
you
then.
guys? What about Moo?
Let's get going.
I want to make haste and get there quick. I'm afraid if we run into Strahd, we need to get those
Yeah.
items quickly.
He's distracted right now, but he will not stay distracted.
Yes, we have to hurry.
It's true.
You continue your path towards the west. After about 2 hours, you notice some shining object just lying to the side of the road. Fist-sized
collected.
object.
I pick it up.
I think we should probably follow those. They do love the shiny, he said, shiny objects. Perhaps it's a path to.
Moon notices that it is the head of a wolf sculpted in silver. It seems to be a whistle with expert artificer eyes. Moo recognizes that this is some sort of normal-looking whistle. It is shaped like a wolf's head, but it is not magical at all. It is quite easy to identify that this is just a masterwork whistle, perhaps quite valuable for some collectors.
You think that signals them or something, Jace?
I mean, there's always one way to find out.
Maybe if in distress or something. I have no idea.
Maybe we don't use it right now. Might
Yeah, we'll
summon
wait.
something we might not like.
We'll let Moo continue to examine it. She looks quite invested in looking at that object. Let's move
She is.
forward.
I agree with that.
Let's keep moving the wagon and let her examine it. Let's go.
Sorry about that.
As you continue your path and Moo is examining this strange wolf whistle, the sky becomes darker and darker. It is still probably about 11 in the morning. But
Oh no.
there is something unnatural. Jace feels some sort of tugging, and now that he has fully entered into contact with the weapon, Jace obtains this flow of information, this constant torrent of emotions. It is revealed to Jace through the blade, through the weapon, that this weapon was once a complete sword. It had a blade, but it was fragmented at some point, and Strahd had to do with that. But this is a powerful weapon. that will allow you to perceive things that normally you would not. The sword has hearing and sight. As you continue your path towards the winery following the signpost, you see a building far off in the distance. And as soon as you continue that direction, you hear, "Stop!" And you see a figure, a robed figure, covered in shiny objects, beckoning you from behind some trees.
Who might you be?
And this part is over. We are now out of character. The cliffhanger.
Dun dun dun.
First of all, congratulations when it comes to surviving Strahd.
That was quite easy.
Yeah, I was hoping I was going to be able to talk our way out of it, but it turned out fine. Yeah.
It was actually a success on your part, on your diplomatic endeavor in using charisma, and because the persuasion, he would have attacked you otherwise completely, but he just slapped you like, "Oh, look at the silly sort of adventurer trying to." Right.
I amused them,
really
right?
I really got nervous. When Moo went down, I was like,
big yikes.
because some people think, "Oh, Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, it's very difficult for your character to die." The moment an adventurer goes down, then another adventurer goes down, and you enter this downward spiral.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh no,
I didn't do any of the work I was supposed to because I was coming in and I was like, my character's the sacrificial lamb. I'm going to tell everybody to run and just run at Strahd. Run, get out of here. That was my whole plan for 2 weeks.
I think it was perfect.
I already did the sacrifice thing.
Because I think it was the best way that you could have handled the situation. If you were to just like run away, I think Strahd would have caught up to you. He had all the speed to do everything.
Yeah.
So as you noticed,
and a bunch of vampires, a big network.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just him; it was multiple.
I
figured if we could keep them busy, or even if we had to get to the point where we're tossing the bones around, somebody could get the bones to the altar.
Yeah,
it was perfect. It was Moog taking on Strahd close quarters while Marcus was taking the bones to the altar. Because if you were to stay behind, you still need to wait for to take the bones. But you already set them up. You let everything set up for Van Richten to.
I had called Jace over because I was hoping he did a prayer or something, but it worked out. And then he's
like,
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame. I'm like, no.
I'm trying to blast him so I could like run to you afterwards.
I was like, just get here.
And yes, I think that was great when Moo went down and Jace immediately like, it's time for me to tank to frontline the situation.
Yeah.
But I think that one more round and Jace would have gone down because he was about to get pummeled. So you handled it perfectly. Van Richten had his chance to cast the divine spell. That was amazing. Congratulations.
I used all my buffs I had. Inspiration, Mordenkainen, everything. Yeah,
I did use inspiration at one point. So
yep, I used it all to try to. I was hoping I could last a couple rounds at least.
I was going to use it for the charisma roll and I forgot. I'm like, I was so nervous I forgot to use it. But
my hand was like,
I rolled
what
well.
do I do?
But I got so nervous I forgot all about it because I was nervous. But I rolled well. I'm like, I'm gonna die. We're gonna.
That happened to me with my second shield bash, and I was like, no wait, I got an inspiration. Let me check it real quick.
I have to say, I think this is one of my favorite combat encounters of all time that I have played on my. How would you say? Well, I've been playing tabletop RPGs since 17 years in roleplay. In 14, I didn't know crap about roleplay. I was playing a board game when I was 14, but in 17 years old, then I started to roleplay, and this is one of the best combats that I have seen. So I want to know about you. What were your favorite parts of this session?
I like the fight. The fight was awesome.
Fight was good.
I was scared. I thought we were gonna die.
Yeah.
I was very nervous.
I like the intrigue that's going on in the Vistani camp.
Yeah, I was also scared that I was like, I should just stay because I have negative charisma. I'm gonna get the whole party killed. So Marcus, good idea.
Yeah.
Stone talk. Gotcha.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah.
I was very scared.
So
I was
I'll
very
pretend to
scared
be a
about that.
scary demon
Yeah, and it was
thing.
hard to determine, can we trust the elves? Can we not trust the elves? But then I was like, well, let's go. My gut feeling said yes, but it seems good so far. Hopefully they don't.
They can at least be trusted long enough to get their women back.
Yes, yeah,
There
and
you go.
it does seem
That's
like they
true.
want to get out of here as well. And he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I also thought that it was very risky for Jace to go into the burning building. I was thinking, is he going? He survived Strahd, and now he's going to die in the building. Let's see. And I was like in the background.
Crazy, man.
I think at that moment I was going to ask Moo, has it been 20 minutes? Because Jay said 20 minutes. If he didn't come back in 20 minutes, has it been that long?
Like to go running
Well,
down the.
I realized I didn't pour the water on me. I was thinking about burning building, water. Maybe I'll survive.
That's why I reduced the damage.
Okay. I was thinking, okay.
Water. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Ah. Sometimes you just gotta run in there, man. You gotta do the thing.
I also like the war council that happened a bit like improvisational. Like you were like, no, we need to talk. We don't want to sleep yet. We need to talk. And okay, let's set up the war council.
I like that. I like the plan.
We need to plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of, the two of you seem like you wanted the reward. I mean, it's good we got the raise dead, but I'm like, do we really need money? We need to get that book in the mountains. Who cares about the gold? But I was like, maybe they have a plan that I'm not aware of. So let me just go.
I didn't really want the reward. I want the opportunity to forge a relationship with the Vistani who are most loyal to Strahd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a good call that you said he might be the one that was trying to kill the daughter. That was a really good call. Yeah.
And now the keepers of the feather are going to get that message. So now the other guy could be thinking, something did happen to my daughter. So,
And now we have 500 extra gold.
And
besides some random non-Vistani guy,
Yeah.
because that's how the Vistani would think. That's the outsider.
I tell you what would have been cool, but you can't really. It'd be hard to improv the whole mechanisms and working and forging the little toys that you want it. Like you can't really improv that, but that would have been like a cool. I like that idea.
It's because it's barrier picks technology, so it's a bit mysterious how they work there.
What are you doing over there?
Leave me alone in my room.
That was worth it. That scroll of race dead. Hopefully we don't need it, but
we'll save it this time, Marcus. I got you.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully none of us need it, but we have it if we need it.
There you go. So could that Isaac? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because that Isaac guy, he's dead, right? I thought I was going to be able to cast something on him, but he's gone. So okay.
No, I got the sense when he said that you saw him, he was about to die. I got the sense he was basically saying he's going to get his kind of in a bug.
I was going to hit him with Spare the Dying, but that was his moment, right?
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Okay.
Yeah,
the only reason he was able to do that because was of his mutated. He has like a mutated body, so he had like a bit of.
That's cool.
Yeah, I figured your spell because I heard you say spare the diamond. I was like, I think it's just his moment.
Yeah,
he's already dead. He's just gonna do his one-liner and die.
Dying dignity, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to everyone who watched this session. As you can see, excellent on the part of all the players. And if those of you watching are running a sandbox campaign, all of those little things that I'm going to plant this seed of distrust with the Vistani, I'm going to attempt this, I'm going to attempt that. All of that is going to influence the sandbox. This is what makes the role-playing game session come alive. It is a real world, and all of that could have an effect. So once again, thank you for watching this part of the campaign. If you have any comments or questions, please let us know. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. The information on how to do that will be in the description. And remember, roleplay solves everything.
Roleplay or die.
Exactly. And I'm going to stop the recording
Play your role.
in 10 seconds.